Today we celebrate the feast of Pentecost, cycle A. There was initially one celebration for the feast of the resurrection, ascension, and gift of the Holy Spirit. For liturgical reasons, they have been separated, and now we have three beautiful separations where we can focus on the different dimensions of the saving act of Jesus. Liturgical celebrations commemorate God's great love for us and recall many of his saving actions. They are more than a celebration of a historical memory. A liturgy is all meant to transform those who are participating in it. Pentecost, the feast of the coming of the Holy Spirit, celebrates the empowerment of the disciples to spread the good news of Christ without fear or error. And our celebration can do the same for us. It is sometimes considered to be the birth of the church. The event sometimes mentioned is when Christ was pierced with a lance, and blood and water flowed from his side. The gift of the Holy Spirit completed Christ's promise to send a helper who would remind us of his teachings and how to apply them to future generations. There is a parallel between the Jewish Passover, which celebrates their deliverance from slavery in Egypt, and their Pentecost, which celebrates the giving of the law to Moses on Mount Sinai. This is compared with our Passover, Passion, Death, and celebrate the resurrection of Christ, and our Pentecost, the gift of the Holy Spirit. Both celebrate the saving action of God for his people, followed by the formation. For the Jews, it was the law given to Moses for their formation. For us Christians, it's the Holy Spirit to guide us in our way of life. There is also similarity between the noise, the wind, and the fire that the people experienced at the foot of the mountain, Mount Sinai, and the experience of Mary and the disciples in the upper room. The first to have the good news preached to them were all Jews or converts to Judaism from all parts of the Roman Empire who spoke different languages. Jesus fulfilled the requirements of the Messiah, and the Jews were the first to hear. When Jesus told the disciples in the gospel to receive the Holy Spirit, and whose sins they forgive are forgiven, and whose sins are retained are retained, he's giving the church authority to forgive sins in the sacrament of reconciliation and the authority to teach what is morally right and morally wrong. A large number of Catholics do not believe in confessing their sins to someone in authority. However, it was Jesus himself who approved of this sacrament. The Holy Spirit gives us courage and promotes unity and tolerance wherever he, the Holy Spirit, is. When disciples, most of whom were Galileans who spoke Aramaic, began to preach, miraculously, each listener heard the message in his own language. This is not the gift of tongues, which charismatics know very well. It's called glossolalia, which is often unintelligible to others. While it would not be like the miracle of Pentecost, we need to invite the Holy Spirit into our homes. The family may be able to communicate better. Certainly, we may be able to hear and understand better what others are trying to tell us. The 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit cannot be understood by consulting a dictionary. Some words would appear similar. The gifts have particular meanings, just as each profession uses familiar words to have specific meanings. For example, in the military, if they refer to their brass, they're not speaking of metal objects. They're speaking of their commanders and leaders. If the infantry are told to step down, they're not coming off a platform. They're not to engage the enemy. And of course, there is collateral damage. We went to Bomber Bridge. Unfortunately, we hit the house next door. Wisdom is the ability to love spiritual things more than material things. Spiritual things are not limited to prayers and liturgies, etc. They also include all relationships. All relationships. Relationships are based on love. The nature of God is love, and therefore all relationships are spiritual in nature. Understanding is knowing your faith and the teachings of Christ, i.e., that is, what is truth. The ability, counsel, is the ability to choose between right and wrong, good and evil. Fortitude is the courage to live according to our beliefs. That means we stand up for what is right. Knowledge is knowledge of God through the assimilation of all the teachings of the church. Piety, a humble reverence to God that comes from our love and trust of Him. Fear of God is not anything to do with psychological fear. It's the ability to recognize the wonder, the awe, and the majesty of God. The Catechism of the Catholic Church has a more detailed description of these gifts. The gifts of the Holy Spirit are like all other gifts we may discover within ourselves. The ability to play a piano, to paint, to sing, or to excel in a certain sport. These are talents which have to be developed. Many of us know someone who was extremely talented but did not develop his special talent because he may have never been given the opportunity, lack of schooling, or refused to make the commitment necessary to succeed. We all have the above-mentioned gifts, but we have to take the time and make the effort to develop them. Most people develop their talents because they can be handsomely rewarded by wealth, fame, and power, while others do so for the love of humanity. The gifts of the Holy Spirit benefit humanity more than the individually talented person. because the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which are generated within us, are necessary for good relationships. The traditional 12 fruits of the Holy Spirit: charity, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, generosity, gentleness, faithfulness, modesty, self-control, and chastity. Who we are is how we act, and not who we think we are. As Jesus would say, "You shall know a tree by the fruit it bears." A good checkup of our spiritual health would be to examine the list of the fruits of the Holy Spirit to determine which ones we are producing and which ones we're failing to produce. Please, I beg you, pick one and develop it. The fruits are, again, charity, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, generosity, gentleness, faithfulness, modesty, self-control, and chastity. If many in our community can produce most of these fruits, we shall enjoy the peace that comes from the Holy Spirit. We will be truly a community of Christ. Have a wonderful week and keep safe.